Hi friends, welcome to A Wonderful Sheep. Happy New Year, happy 2024, wherever you are watching this. I hope you are safe and well, healthy and happy. I thought I would jump on real quick and do a planner setup for 2024, share my system with you. All right, first up is my functional planner. This one is from 공장 Design, and I believe it's an older planner because I got it for free at the flea market they had earlier last year. I think it was a sample book because it had some tape marks and things, and it's an undated planner, so there's a yearly, monthlies to fill in, and this is what the weeklies look like. I did really like the appointed planner I used last year. You can watch last year's video to see that, because that's the system I prefer, is a brainstorming page on the right side and then the to-dos for the week on the left. But this is the full week to 2 pages, and that's fine. I can fit all my to-dos on one little section, and then if I need a brain dump page, I can just add in, a post-it or a large memo sheet. Next up is a oldie but goodie. This is my 5th year using the Some Lines a Day 5-year memory book from Lloydstrom Company. I showed this in last year's video as well, but if I could recommend one journal to anybody, I always recommend this 5-year journal. I know other brands have similar 5-year books. I really like this Lloydstrom version. I've had it for over 4 years now, and it's held up really well. I started it in 2020, and what it is I have some stickers ready for today's New Year's spread or entry, but there's just a day to a page, and there's 5 years worth of empty sections. So every year you fill in the year and you write a little summary of what you did that year. And it's just really fun to look back on as the years, pile up. And you can see where you were 1 year ago, like in your life or physically, like what country you're in, what city you're in. And I haven't been super diligent about keeping up with this always until last year. Last year was the first year I wrote in it every day, but without showing too much, you can see there's a lot of 2021 is blank, but that's fine because I can go back in my camera roll when I have time and I look through and re-jog my memory of what happened that day, and I can fill it in. So I'm really excited to be filling in the last year of this 5-year book, and then that will be 5 years of memories and my life captured in one handy book. Next up is a new edition. This is the 5-minute journal. If you've been following on my Instagram stories, you did see a little bit of the backstory of why there's a bunch of pages missing from the journal. Basically, long story short, the company made a switch to a more sustainable binding a while ago, like a glue binding, but the pages were falling out. So I think they switched to a different binding since then. Unfortunately, I happened to buy one of the books that still had the faulty binding, and they offered to send a replacement, but I live in Korea. I bought this book when I was on a trip in Canada, and they don't ship to Korea. So instead of the replacement, I received a subscription to the app. But I'm sure you've seen this journal before. The 5-minute journal is writing what you're grateful for every day, what would make today great, and a daily affirmation in the morning. And then at the end, before you go to bed, you write highlights of the day and what I learned today. And every day there's a quote, and every week there's a challenge. And I've kept up with this for a couple weeks now, and I'm enjoying it. And it really doesn't take much time. And I like to keep up the streak of, starting my day with a little bit of gratefulness and positivity, and going to bed with that same mindset. So I'll be keeping this up in the new year. All right, and then last 2 notebooks. First is this B6 size notebook from the 인생상점 Store of Life brand in Korea that makes bullet journals. And I didn't show this in my unboxing, but it is just a B6 notebook, and I will be using this as sort of like a sketchbook, and more specifically, I definitely want to bring back my doodle calendars. So I've already set up January's doodle calendar, and what this is just drawing a little doodle in the calendar box for the month, and then you have a spread full of little drawings to represent that month. And I did this consistently in 2019 and 2020 and I sort of fell off the habit, but I love looking back at those spreads of the doodle calendars, so I'm bringing them back in this notebook, and I can use this for journaling, like just Dear Diary stuff journaling and some sketching. This will just be a catch-all, but specifically I wanted to make the effort to do the doodle calendars again. And because it's a dot grid notebook, it is a little easier for me to set up the calendar every month. Last but not least, but the journal I am most excited for is my reading journal or book journal for 2024, and maybe even longer because it is a pretty thick book. This journal is also from 인생 상점, which I have an unboxing of this notebook, and I did a little test spread, a few test spreads for creative reading journal and review spreads. So those are these spreads here. I love this so far, so I'm really excited to try to do more creative reading spreads in this notebook, but I also did set up a yearly section, so I'll flip through that with you. And I also filmed that setup. Hopefully I will get around to editing that and explaining my reasoning and thought processes, but for now I'll just do a quick flip through here. This will be hopefully filled with like a fantasy map. I would like to do that for the end pages. And then just a little cover page. I have an idea to do stickers over this page as well. Cover page for 2024. I have mixed feelings about this. This may change later. Also still a work in progress. My year at a glance. I have calendar stickers at the top, and I want to write down some of the commemorative months like AAPI Heritage Month or Pride Month, and try to do some reading in line with that month, and then anticipated releases as well. I'm so looking forward to some of these auto read authors' new releases, like The Partner Plot by Christina Forrest. I've got Ellie Hazelwood, Emily Henry, Ashley Poston coming up in the first half of the year. So that's a year at a glance. My goals spread, which I think other people call this a challenges spread, but I don't care how many books I read. I actually want to read less in 2024 and take my time reading. So my goals are to read more nonfiction, more BIPOC authors and stories about BIPOC characters, read more in Korean, which will significantly reduce the number of books I read in English because it takes me longer to read in Korean. And I want to do one book club or one buddy read. I would like to read a book with someone else and like speak about that book, talk about it. So I haven't settled down on the number of each, but we'll definitely be focusing on these as my reading goals. And then my TBR page and series. This is, as you can tell, it's Year of the Blue Dragon themed. That there's a whole story behind that, but this page is, there's like little dragon eggs that I made out of upcycled like chocolate bar wrappers. And then I have little golden eggs for every time I finish a book in the series. Right now I am eagerly waiting to get off the holds for the third book in Throne of Glass, and I'm also reading the Fireborn series. And then this was the spread that kicked off the whole dragon theme, but I thought, oh, I've been reading some dragon books lately. Dragon books are pretty popular right now, and it is the year of the dragon in 2024. Why don't I do a spread where I try to read just a couple books about dragons? And I had so much fun making this that I changed the theme for all of my other spreads. But yeah, so I have just 3 little flame sections where I can fill in at least reading 3 books about dragons, which I already have like a TBR for at least 3 books, so hopefully I can finish that. And then I have an empty page here just in case I want to do another stats page or something. And then very abrupt change of mood and theme, but this will be the January cover page, and this will be my January bookshelf. So instead of a yearly bookshelf, I thought I'd do like just a monthly bookshelf and fill in all the books I read that month at the end of the month on the bookshelf. So that is my reading journal. Very excited for this. Hopefully we'll be doing more reading journal content and book content on this channel this year. And that is it for my 2024 planner setup. It'd be interesting to see how these books fill up over the year with memories and good times, I hope, and hopefully we'll be sharing that with you all as well. Let me know if you have any planners set up for the new year. Let me know any resolutions you have. Say hello in the comments. I was pretty quiet on this channel and on socials in 2023, but I'm hoping to be back this year and sharing more content with all of you. Thank you for watching. Thank you for sticking around. Wishing you all the best and Happy New Year. Bye!